Hey everyone, it's Marcus here. So, welcome to the Entity Chat for MC applicants. Uh, okay, just let's wait a little bit. Let's maybe have someone that's coming. Anyway, as you already know, the chat will be recorded so you can see it later. And okay, they should be in English because I know that some applicants it's from outside, from the countries. So yeah. Anyway, if you have like any questions, you can write in Spanish in the chat. Okay. Oh, you can contact me. Let me share it here. The screen. And yeah, I think that now you can see. Let me check if you can see it well. I think so. Yeah. So, okay, to not make it longer, let's start. And hey, applicant, welcome to the chat. Here's Marcus, the MCP 1718 of Isaac in Costa Rica. And it's my pleasure to be here and welcome you to the Pura Vida entity. As maybe in your research you already know, Costa Rica, well, it's called like the Pura Vida entity because here you feel and we act with the Pura Vida style. That's something that during your experience you discover and you're part of it every day. So just introduce myself and I just resume my experience to not bore you. I'm your host. I was EP in Egypt. I met my GV there in 2014. Um, then I just back and I was already Isaac member, so I just back from my exchange and I applied for VB. I had CDP at this time, but right now I do V of Isaac in Brazil. NST of a host family, customer experience, and in 2015, just at the same time that I was VP, ECB for 1 year of Isaac in Brazil, so I have there a lot of experience. And I was in my last experience MCVP IGV of Isaac in Panama, and right now I'm the current MCP 1718 of Isaac in Costa Rica. Okay, this chat will be about three things. Um, as exactly the other ones, it's about the history of iOS in Costa Rica, some things about the context, the current context, and the next steps, and a little bit about the challenges and things that you have to consider for your application. Okay. Um, okay. You can see the past four. No, the five generations of the last five generations of MCFIs in Costa Rica, and then a space waiting for your logo, MC 1819. But yeah, this one was the past MCs, and I'll explain a little bit more about them. But yeah, those ones was the logos and the sense of each MC. To introduce the MCPs of this generation, then you can see the MCP 1314 and 1415. There, another photo of the 1415. It was Stenka, and 1516. It was Chema and Camilo. 16, 17, 16, no, 15, 16, 16, 17. Oh my, it's really crazy. In 16, 17, Camilo, and me and Camilo. With yeah, MC 16, 17, and 17, 18. As I told you, this chat will be a little bit about the history, and then you can start to understanding more and looking for those faces that made the past generations of Isaac in Costa Rica, but have to understand a little bit more about the country itself. So as you can see, there's the map, and I don't know if you understood, but like the logo of the MC dots, it's kind of the connections of the map. And yeah, talking a little bit about the history and the country itself, I think, but no, I think Costa Rica has almost 5 million inhabitants, and it's separated in 7 states that you can see in the map, and each state have really characteristic things. And in the whole country, you can see almost more, not almost, but more than 100 university, public and private university. And Costa Rica, as a country, it's about they must the incomes of the country comes from tourism, coffee, and ananas. That's the fruit here, and how the incomes of the country comes, and yeah, and that's what you talking about the history of Isaac in Costa Rica. We have the foundation of Isaac in Costa Rica in 1979, and it was created for a group from AI that come here, and the first LC was UCR, UCR in English. But yeah, so AI comes for group, not AI, but a person from AI comes to help a group of people to create Isaac in Costa Rica in 1979. After this, you have to pay attention for this another fact is that in 1981 was the creation of Isaac in Panama, and in this moment it's really important because we had a lot of influence in the creation of Isaac in Panama, and also Panama it's really important for the next moments of Isaac in Costa Rica, and the things was not that good at this moment, but people was really looking for provided this opportunity for the country. They didn't have a lot of experience. That's why Costa Rica was a really important entity at this moment, because we had like not a lot of experience, like 2 years, but was important to them to understand the first steps, and also the internet, like international people helped a lot in the creation of the first steps of Isaac in Panama at this moment, from another entity that could help this foundation. And next thing, in 2003, both countries, Panama and Costa Rica, was about to close, and there was not from maybe for a long time, and they had like a lot of exchange problems and so on, and that's what made the next step of the in 2014, yeah, no, 2004, sorry, 2004, as in Costa Rica and as in Panama was joined together, and then we create CAS, that's Central America South. That was not anymore 2 entities of IAS, but the one entity, like together, for the whole network. So why we did it? It's because besides the problem that both entities had, the countries had like almost the same socio-economic situation, and they was close to each other geographically, so it was not that hard to make visits or to be present or to have conference or anything like this. And they also had like different good case practices from another countries that made the same thing. We had like a lot of resistance from the countries to join together. But anyway, it was like we had like a plan for a guy and everything to make sure that we could put together the efforts and create and stabilize the two entities that was in the best moment at this time. Okay, in 2008, we won the UBS awards, and the CAS entity was like growing a lot, and was at this moment a good case practice for this merge of two entities. And one thing that I had to know that was really important, this award, because we had at this moment a PAI that's from Costa Rica. So for the ones that don't know, the people from Costa Rica, it's called Tico. And yeah, the PAI was Tico at this moment in 2008. And yeah, it also what made us grow a lot, because Panama was raising a lot of GIPs back this time, and GTs for the ones that don't know the GIP. And Costa Rica was sending a lot of people abroad, because one thing that back in this time and also in the current days, you can see that Costa Rica have a lot of potential and the good profiles to send people abroad. And just to back in the other shots, I don't know if you know it, but for example, we didn't have IGCDP, IGV social programs at this moment, and it was more about professional exchange. And at the moment, the JP, now GTs. And yeah, and they had like from this time on, we had a lot of people going out of Costa Rica to have a high position in the NIASIC, and also living a MC experience outside Costa Rica. So it was really pretty normal to see ticos going out and living MC experience outside Costa Rica. And also we won in IOC, the conference, we won the awards of the most innovative region, yeah, award. And 2018 or 2013, as I told you, was like a pretty good performance. And we had like 4 entities here in Costa Rica, 3 entities in Panama. Even like growing a lot, had like some, how can I say, we had some needs from the both entities to have more independence and build the own culture, like organizational culture, and yeah, so the after this good performance and everything, and both entity going strong again, was time to have this preparation to split and have ISIC in Costa Rica and ISIC in Panama. Yeah, so yeah, like independence. And yeah, so from now on, we had like a story of fulfilling their own goals, and it was not more about the Panama and Costa Rica together, but both entities running their own products and having their own culture inside both entities. But something that I have to know is that I think Costa Rica and I think Panama at this time had a lot of things, have a lot of cooperation together. So from this moment, we didn't like split and had like better relations, but we keep working together as entities. And just to keep in mind, those MCs was the ones that passed for the both entity when it was Central America, South, and also when it's split it, and now Costa Rica. And you can see all the MCs so far of ASIC in Costa Rica since 2005 to 2018 MC dots. Okay. And right now, going to the current the current time, I just explain to you a little bit about the contributions that we have as MC for the entity so far. The first one, the finance standards. The first step is like the reportability of the finance standards. It's like even better. And I think that as ISIC was, you are improving this thing, so we changed a lot the way that we report finance standards. But here in Costa Rica, we are like implementing the finance standard nationally and locally, and that's something that in finance you have like really strong with the network. The second one is the universal relation. Personally, I can say that in my structure, I was like a personal option and to have a strategy for universal relation, because if you check in the UR chat, you see that we don't have like a good relationship with the university that we have it is right now, and we have to increase the communication and everything. That's why we made it. And for university relation, we have to talk and they create those relations with the different universities that have so far. So we are running our upscaling the communication for have projects and scholarships and increase the number of GVs. The focus of UR is for GV, for OGVs, and increase the number of OGVs that we can have directly with the university. Another contribution for UR, but I'll talk about it later, is about expansions. And yeah, I'll let you know in the next PPTs. And one thing else that you have to know is about the basis of DT. So as MC, we had like two things. The first one is that since the last MC, the MC Kaizen, the MC 16, 17, we closed the OGTs as a national area. So was not we are not running OGT anymore. And the things that now as MC Dots, we just understood that it was about how to run the project, the product, and how to adapt the local structures and the profiles for the OGT profile and the product. But yeah, something that I have to do. And also the IDT, that also in the challenges you talk about it. But we had to understand better how to run IDT in Costa Rica, because we had a lot of potential for companies that is interesting for the product, interested in the product, but we don't have a good migration and visa stuff, visa situation for run IDT. They had to make it possible during the last semester of MC. And I'll explain to you a little bit of the strategical plan of the MC dot. So first of all, we have to understand that we want to connect the Pura Vida, not because we're like a lot of internationals in the MC, but the entity itself must understand how to be connected with the Pura Vida and what means be connected with the Pura Vida. And yeah, it's a part of the work that we want to do, and the work that we want to see in the end of the term. How to do it? It's providing and given for the entity all the passion that we have as MC for ISIC and for the entity itself, and transmit this passion through the actions that we have. We want to create a really data-driven entity. It means base every single decision in the data of the entity and understand how to analyze data and put it in strategies, and also have a growth mindset. That it's something that you as applicants have to know. So far we have a lot of mindsets about Costa Rica. It's a small country, it's a small entity and so on. So what we want to do is change and provide this growth mindset that always keep the growth mindset with us. And how and what we want to be as MC to achieve it? It be the leaders that take the right decision for Costa Rica. So everything that you do, it's about the right decision that you can take for the country and for the entity itself. How we make it possible and what we want to do? It's sorry, it's 350 IGVs, 205 OGVs, 8 IGEs, 2 IGs, and 7 OGs. learning again, and I'm personally the responsible for ODT in the MC. So it means 664 realizations in the MC term, and what else we want to what we would also want to achieve. It's one expansion for in each state, in each part of the country. Incomings, the separate incomings means 70% of the income is from operations and 30% from PD, and almost 200, 300 members within the end of the term. So the goal so far that you have 4 members for this recruitment, it's more 100, that it means almost 170 members for Rising Costa Rica, but you have another one planned for the middle of the year, so you can deliver more than 200 members for the entity. And the MC it's running right now on the real plan was about was using for DEX, let's say, and the main goal of the MC is achieve 330 completed within September of this year, what means not only the completers that you can have in this term, but also the legacy that you can you can provide for the entity. It's more about the continuity and everything that we can deliver for the entity after the term. So how to do it? It's we have 3 drivers that make it possible. The first one is Power On. It's about how we can develop the products and also provide more exchange for the entity. Sustain yourself. It's about the sustainability of the entity and how to make sure that as Costa Rica will be sustainable not only financially but also results and people for the generation that you have right now, but also for the next ones, and unlock your potential. It's about the membership that you have. So yeah, so that's it. And yeah, so the unlock your yeah. So now we have the project inside. Those ones are the projects. I'll explain a little bit more after after the slide, the next one. So I'll explain a little bit more, but it's just to see the whole page and the one page of the strategical plan of the MC. Okay, explaining the project. Right now, as I told you, have the drivers, so it's Power On, sustain yourself and unlock your potential. Yeah, unlock your potential, and the project inside. The completed project is how you can provide more completed. As I told you, the main goal of the MC is about completed, and how can we create it's not a mindset, but I entity that understand the process to have to complete it. Yeah, yeah, they understand the way to have to complete it for each experience that we provide. And MOI, it's something really new that we are implementing here, but it's something that you have that you are planning to have this semester, because it's really important to understand the impact that we have in each product and that we run in Costa Rica. So yeah, so how we can provide better reports for the work that you have for the country. The breakthrough model is a model based on the growth of the entity, the sustainability of the entity. It's about the expansions. It's about the organizational culture. It's about yeah, the organization, the expansion model, the organizational model that you have for the entity, and how you can provide a better growth path for the entity in the next generation. The scoreboard, the financial scoreboard, it's about how we can see the financial contribution of each area in yeah, for each area that you have like operations or PDDs are the ones that normally give us incomes, and how can we see the contribution and also the make sure that you have the financial sustainability of Isaac in Costa Rica, and people process and how can we implement all the people analytics process inside the entity locally and nationally, and make sure that you can have a better membership with the right education and with for more time in the entity at the end of each term. The responsibles for the for the each project. So as you can see, completed you have MCVP XD, that's Christian Fernandez. MOI you have MCVP IGV, Salis. UR you have Ariana. For financial scoreboard, it's MCVP Finance that's coming. And people process for sure it's people management, and it's under your MCP elected. And yeah, so now I'll talk to you about the next steps of the MC, and I put it like 17, 19 because it's some of those challenges, something that you have not challenge, but next steps is something that you have to take care as MC 18, 19 too. But what we want to do is like create a strong LCs. So far, I want to have see, and yeah, the first one was the adaptability of the with the network, and these things that we, including myself, I was not from the as in Costa Rica before BMCP, so was really challenged to adapt all the strategies that we had and also the views that we had from outside the entity for the needs of the entity in the first semester. So that's why I put it there. The financial sustainability is something that you have to keep in mind every time you in Costa Rica, because as I told you, and you can check in the OGV chat, the income is from in Costa Rica. It's much, but the fixed incomes it's from DT, but the incomes that provide us the capacity for innovation and everything, it's a thing that comes from OGV, and you have, for example, IGV that's not sustainable at all, at least in the first semester of the MC, that we're trying to change right now with the sales for IGV. The legal process, it's something that you have to take in mind. It's exactly what makes us have like problems to grow in GTs. And yeah, also it's something for the MC members you have to take in mind how to be legal in the country. The product innovation, it's as I told you, the financial sustainability is not something that allowed us to make a lot of innovation in the products or in the strategies, but it's something that we had like also because locally we had like a lot of new members that have some needs about the basic for the product, and there was more about go back to the base and then innovate for the next moment. And international relations. I can say that we have a lot of national relations, a lot of companies and a lot of organizations that we have contact with, but international relations were not the strength of us in the last terms. So it's something that we as MC had a lot of challenges, and we tried to how can I say, to increase a lot of the relations that we had as entity in Americas, outside Americas, but most part of the relations that we have so far, it's in Americas and Central America. That's a strong project that we have so far. And I don't know if you have any questions. I cannot see it here, I guess. But, oh, you was not. I just saw that you was not checking my screen. But yes, okay, I can send a PPT. Oh my god. So yeah, so if you have like any question, you can put it down or you can write to me. Let's stop too. Okay, you can write to me any question that you have about the entity, and I really hope that you could understand a little bit more about ISIC in Costa Rica. And yeah, thank you so much. Best luck for you. Enjoy the process of the MC, and I hope you to see you here and the MC transition. So yeah, bye bye. Have a nice application time.